Lisbon has a quality that larger, more celebrated European capitals have lost. It still feels like something you found. Despite growing international attention over the past decade, the city retains a particular texture: faded grandeur, tiled facades, hills so steep the neighborhoods were connected by small funicular railways. That suggests a place still primarily organized for the people who live in it, rather than the people passing through. It sits at the western edge of continental Europe, where the Tagus River opens into a wide estuary before meeting the Atlantic. The light here is famously beautiful, a warm, diffuse Atlantic light that has attracted painters and photographers for generations and gives even ordinary streets a quality that is difficult to name and easy to feel. Lisbon is compact, walkable within reason, and possessed of a melancholy warmth that the Portuguese call saudade, a word that translates roughly as longing, but carries more weight than that. It is the feeling of missing something even while you have it. You will understand saudade before you leave. Humberto Delgado Airport sits close to the city center, close enough that the taxi ride into the historic neighborhoods is brief. The city arriving quickly with its hills and yellow trams and pastel-painted buildings. First impressions are dominated by the hills. Lisbon is built across 7 of them, and the neighborhood map is inseparable from the topography. Alfama cascading down to the Tagus in the east, Bairro Alto, the high neighborhood, looking westward, Muraria, one of the oldest districts, tucked into the slopes below the castle. The number 28 tram, which runs through many of these neighborhoods on its old, slightly precarious tracks, has become famous in its own right. A vintage wooden streetcar, navigating routes that were designed before the automobile, lurching up hills that seem to require faith more than engineering. It is, genuinely, a wonderful way to move through the city. Arrive early in the morning and the crowds are manageable. The views through the windows are the city in motion. Alfama is the soul of old Lisbon. The neighborhood survived the catastrophic 1755 earthquake, which killed tens of thousands and destroyed much of the city, largely because its Moorish-era street plan, built into the hillside below the São Jorge castle, provided a kind of structural resilience that the lower city lacked. As a result, Alfama's streets look more or less as they have looked for centuries: narrow, irregular, interrupted by staircases, opening unexpectedly into small squares with fountains and old men playing cards. The miradouros, the viewpoints scattered across Lisbon's hills, are perhaps the city's most democratic institution. Portas do Sol and Santa Lucia offer sweeping views east over the terracotta rooftops of Alfama to the Tagus and the hills beyond. They are crowded at sunset, quiet in the early morning, and worth both. Fado, the music most associated with Lisbon's emotional character, originated in Alfama in the 19th century. It is a song form defined by minor keys, by longing, and by a particular kind of vocal intensity that the Portuguese call the grito, the cry. The best Fado houses are not tourist performances. They are places where local musicians sing for local audiences, and visitors are welcome to listen in silence. A short tram ride west of the city centre, the Belem district holds Lisbon's most historic monuments and its most celebrated pastry. The Belem Tower, rising from the Tagus on a small platform near the river's edge, was built in the early 16th century as a ceremonial gateway for the Portuguese explorers who sailed from this shore to map the coasts of Africa, Asia, and the Americas. It is a beautiful, slightly fantastical structure, part fortress, part monument to ambition, reflecting in the water beside it. The Jerónimos Monastery nearby is perhaps the finest example of Manueline architecture, Portugal's own ornate Gothic style, characterized by maritime motifs, twisted stone ropes, and the confident extravagance of a nation at the height of its imperial wealth. And a short walk from both, the Pasteis de Belem bakery, which has been making its egg custard tarts to the original recipe since 1837. The tarts are served warm, dusted with cinnamon, and eaten on the premises or wrapped to go. They are, without qualification, the best thing you will eat in Lisbon. 40 minutes by train from central Lisbon, the town of Sintra sits in the forested hills of the Serra de Sintra, a UNESCO World Heritage landscape of palaces, aristocratic estates, and moss-covered gardens that has been a retreat for Portuguese royalty since the medieval period. The Pena Palace, the most dramatic of Sintra's monuments, sits at the highest point of the hills, a romanticist fantasy in yellow and red. Built in the 19th century by the same Ferdinand II who bought and transformed Lisbon's Montserrat estate. It is ostentatious and strange and genuinely thrilling against the blue of the Atlantic sky. The town itself, below the palaces, is a warren of small streets, pastry shops, and antique stores that reward slow walking. Lisbon is a city that teaches you something about the value of imperfection. The tiles on the building facades, azulejos, the blue and white tin-glazed ceramics that cover entire building exteriors in geometric or narrative patterns, are often chipped, faded, or missing. The trams are old, the streets are uneven underfoot, and none of it diminishes the experience. If anything, the patina of age and use gives the city its specific beauty, the sense that it has been lived in fully, that its beauty was not designed but accumulated. Come with comfortable shoes and no specific agenda. Let the hills take you where they take you. Find a miradouros